Happy end of October, North Branford. The Community Lens is back, and we have some great stories here tonight. We are all focused right now on the government shutdown, and we've all been getting some heavy news, but I want to share some great news with you tonight and what's been going on in town. So I'm Kara Papa, your host, and I'm going to send it over to my guests.
I'm Ellexis Negron.
What are you here to talk about?
And I'm here to talk about the Open Door Project Rise that I recently started.
And I'm John Gesmonde. I'm here to talk about basically the Tucket Historical Society's recent adventure in home touring, which I participated in.
Thank you both so much for being here tonight. I hope you find tonight's discussion enlightening and you learn something new. And at the end tonight, I will talk to you about the events and the things that I got to visit this month, but I'm going to let Mr. Gesmonde start us off.
Thank you. Well, as you can see, I'm an old guy, which is one of the reasons why I continue to hold on to my strong feelings for antiques. I started collecting antiques when I was about 19, when I used to go to the flea market on the boulevard in New Haven, where I found for 50 cents I could buy a Bible that was from 1790 or a Civil War soldier's diary, and I was just fascinated that I was touching the same thing that somebody 200 years ago was touching. It's as close as you can get to a time machine, and that's how I looked at it. I live in a house from the 1830s that was originally built and lived in by a very important person in terms of Northford history. His name was Samuel Maltby, and he was responsible for making deals with the governor of Barbados to import coconuts, of all things, to make coconut dippers, which were coconut shells, highly polished, pewter connections, and finely turned wooden handles. We didn't have plumbing in New England really until the 1880s, and some places not until as late as the 1930s. So a lot of the beverages that we had were involved well water, and the dippers were a very important means of dispensing or dispersing that well water. He shipped these coconut dippers all over the country and made a lot of money, and stunk up the town with the stench of rotting coconut because they threw the coconut meat away and did not realize they had a product in the coconut, so-called desiccated coconut or coconut flakes eventually. They wound up eventually realizing they had a product and became very successful selling coconut, desiccated coconut. And I have found on my property some old coconut shells, some old Maltby coconut tins. And he wound up marrying the governor's daughter of Barbados in 1820, approximately. But aside from that, there's a deeper connection, I feel. There's a novelist from Mississippi. His name was William Faulkner. And he's credited with saying, "The past is never dead, it's not even past." And what that means to me is that we are all composite persons, both in terms of our gene pool and our mentality, our spirit, from previous relatives or ancestors that came before us. I'm not talking about reincarnation. I'm just talking about the fact that many of you may think that, you had a past life where you were in the Civil War, or you remember some other event. I personally have a belief that I was in the Civil War, and unfortunately, I didn't make out very well. I was a scout for the North, and I was a spy, and I was often dressed in Confederate garb, and they found me out, and I was executed. So that's not a very happy ending. But some of you may have very terrific endings. On the other hand, by past lives, I'm also talking about past trauma. So when we think of what some folks may have gone through, particularly enslaved people or people from the Holocaust, that gets memorialized in their memory. That doesn't go away, and there's medical evidence of that. They've conducted tests and experiments, and they find that we not only are influenced by heredity in terms of genes or musculature or looks, but also in terms of previous lives that we may have descended from. So all of that ties into my love for antiques, and my home is pretty much a testament to that. So I was very happy when the Totucket Historical Society asked me if I'd like to have them and others in town who had a similar interest visit my home, and they did, and it was wonderful. I probably had more fun than anybody there, although some people were very enthusiastic and complimentary, but I had a lot of fun. And that's it.
Thank you for sharing. That's wonderful.
Okay, so the Open Door Project Rise is a project I started during the summer when I was home alone, didn't really have much to do, it was towards the end of summer, so it was just something I picked up. Growing up, I've always had some sort of feeling that I wanted to help people. I knew somewhere along, when I get older, I knew I wanted to do something that helps people. And I figured, why not start now? And so I started this project, and it is towards people who don't have any housing or abuse survivors, and people who are less fortunate than what I have on a daily basis. And I think that it's important that everyone thinks about how lucky we are to have what we have. And that's why I started this project. And my first mission was to start with care packages, and that is from getting together by donations from my school at North Branford High School, and I have a donation bin set up at the Northford Parks and Rec Center, and it's going pretty well. A lot of people are very supportive of what I'm doing, and I am very thankful for everybody who is supporting. And I am also hopefully working on something to do for Thanksgiving. Holidays are hard, especially when you have nowhere to go, and I think that everyone should have a place to go. Holidays are like hard by itself, and then if you have nowhere to go, then it's just even worse. So I think that opening a space on Thanksgiving for people to come, music, and just connect. That's what the Open Door Project Rise is about. It's not just here, let me help you, and then bye. It's like, I want to get to know you. Like, what's your story? Tell me all about it, because people are more than just how they are perceived. They're more than their struggles. They're more than just, whatever. So I think that that's very important, and the care packages will be distributed hopefully at the Thanksgiving event that is getting done. It is still a work in progress, but yes, I am hoping to get it done. But so everyone's been really supportive, and that's about it.
That's amazing. I'm going to just talk about my piece, and then I have some questions for both of you, if you don't mind. So October is a long month, 31 days, and we had a tremendous amount of events going on in North Branford and in the state. So I just want to start with, we will have flyers running tonight. The North Branford Congregational Church, if you've been driving on Route 80, they were here to visit us in August, and hopefully they will come on again towards the holidays and maybe in the new year, because they are running their beautification project. So they've had their benches updated on the outside, and they are still raising money to have all of the construction done on the church itself. So they now have a barometer on their front lawn that will tell you how much they've were able to raise, and they are going to have some more fundraisers coming up, and there are tickets left over. So please stay tuned and make sure that you look at our reel tonight so you can see those. There's an art one, and I believe there is a dinner and a tag sale. Also, municipal elections are going on. Early voting started October 20th. You can vote at the town hall right now. And then, of course, election day is this coming Tuesday, and you will be able to vote at your district. So that is Stanley T. Williams, and for the 2 Northford districts, and at Jerome Harrison School in North Branford for this district. I can't remember exactly what they're numbered, but those are the locations you can vote in. Also, the Food Pantry of North Branford is collecting food and donations all of the time. Thank you to all of the Crafters Care events and other things that have been going on. Layla's Lemonade Stand to raise food for the pantry. They need it. They're also looking for hearty soups. And people who are food insecure, that's increasing even more now with the government shutdown. Be aware of that. And so if you can, if you are in a position to, please donate to the Food Pantry of North Branford. And the last thing I wanted to mention is I went to the No Kings rally for Community Lens. I took some video just because I wanted to be able to show a lens of somebody being there kind of in the middle, just walking around. There's a lot of things that go around. So we'll be showing you some video from that day as well. I found it to be an interesting experience, and it was, I think, a positive experience in a lot of ways. There was joy there. So that's what I wanted to share with you all tonight. And now I have some questions. So one question I have is that you mentioned antique collecting, and you mentioned the Maltby tins and things you have. Do you collect any other antiques that are town related at all?
Well, I noticed that I have a pair of cufflinks that are made, that are marked. They're like pewter, and they are marked, excuse me, they're not cufflinks, they're buttons. We made buttons in this town also.
Oh.
And actually, Mr. Maltby also was responsible for inventing a lot of other things for machinery for farms and things like that. But personally, the only other things besides the Maltby tins and the coconuts and the stencils and the boxes that say Maltby are those buttons and many dippers. That, you know, and of course I live on Maltby Lane, so I feel a particular obligation to maintain whatever I can get my hands on that has to do with Maltby, but pretty much that's it. I don't have any Maltby T-shirts or anything like that.
I wonder if they made that kind of swag back then.
I don't know. Yeah. I'd love to. I have some early pictures of my house that appeared on a calendar in the 1980s of Branford Savings Bank. Each month was a different historical building or home, and they included North Branford in that calendar. So I think it's about from the 1880s, and I'm happy to have that. But Um, I can't think of anything else at the moment. I don't have any. I don't have anything per se. No signatures or diaries or things of that nature. I wish I did.
Yeah, I always wonder, like, I was having a conversation about journaling the other night, and we were talking about how, if people share antique or historical journals, but we were also talking about how, like, when your parents find your journal under your bed and what an invasion of privacy that is. So it's like a weird juxtaposition when you talk about that. Well, thank you so much for sharing. And so my question for you tonight is anybody out there able to assist? So do you still need space for your Thanksgiving dinner?
So no, I don't need a space. I found a space. The only thing that I am really hoping for and like desperate need of is food. I'm preferred already cooked meals that I can heat up. It's just really, I know it's a big ask because Thanksgiving is a big holiday. People have a bunch of other things to do. I'm very well aware, but I am trying to get this. I'm trying to do this. I'm not backing down. I am standing on that everyone deserves a place to go. So this will happen. And but yeah, food will be deeply appreciated if donated. So that's what people could do right now.
So I know that you're not ready to tell us what the space is, but so I know that there's sometimes pesky things about distributing food and cooked food. So
Right.
it's a space where people can bring cooked meals.
Yes.
So like if we did like a meal train, something like that, where
Yes.
everybody brought something.
Yeah, it does have a kitchen there too.
Okay. Perfect. That's great to know.
Yeah.
So like turkey dinners because it's Thanksgiving, or maybe lasagnas
Yeah.
if somebody baked a lasagna and brought that over.
Yeah, really anything will be helpful. Yeah, that's really it.
Okay. And what about distributing information for the you need people to distribute information to invite people to the event?
So yeah, that would be very helpful. If you let people know, everyone is more than welcome to go. It doesn't have to be my thing. I call it the Open Door Project Rise because it's open to anybody. Anybody can come, just stop in and say hi or whatever. So if people want to spread the word, then that'd be great.
Where can we find the information of where to go if we want to come to the event or if we want to bring food to the event?
So there's an Instagram account. The name is Open Door Project Rise, and I run it, so it will have all events, all information. That's where everything will be found. And then you can contact me on there if you need something, and then we can further discuss.
Okay. So please follow Open Door Rise so you know where to go to have a nice Thanksgiving meal, or if you would like to join the meal train to provide food for the event. And where can people donate to your care packages if they want to donate to your care packages?
So they can go to Stanley T, the Northford Rec Center, and yeah, that's pretty, unless you go to the North Branford High School, then you can donate there. But yeah, Stanley T is probably the only option.
Okay.
Others.
And I did notice on the Instagram that you were looking for volunteers to put the care packages together.
Yes.
So is that something else that you need?
That is open. I do have a couple friends that are open to volunteering, so that I will just have to figure out. But if anyone wants to help, anyone is more than welcome to come.
Awesome. And so do you guys have any questions for each other or for me?
Well, first of all, I'm very honored to be here with Ellexis. She's only a sophomore in high school, and her attitude is amazing to me. So, I feel a little diminished talking about my antique collection in contrast to the wonderful work that she's doing as such a young person. But I did think of a couple more things that I have that were found on the property, actually. And that is I also made tin spoons and tin dishes, and I have some of those.
Okay.
So I have them, so that, and I'm pretty sure that's it as far as Maltby per se goes, other than the house.
Right. The house is amazing, and I know from taking the tour. Do you mind if I talk about that a little bit?
No, I don't.
I think my favorite part is that front room where you walk in, where you have the dome in the top. And I think that you said that you were able to get that from another classic house, and you put that in there at the time period?
I think I told you I got it from a gin mill. What's unusual about it is these domes, first of all, there are not too many around anymore, but they were usually in bars, and they were very dark glass, purple and red and things like that, because they wanted a dark environment. This one is very bright, a lot of clear glass in it and gold pieces in it. The idea of that was whenever things got advanced since 1830, I interpreted or imagined that if Mr. Maltby was still living, or if he could be living a couple of hundred years, that each time that happened, he would modernize. So when the outhouse was replaced by pull chain toilets, that's what I have in the house. I don't have any new toilets. I have the first improved toilet with a water closet above it, as it was called. We didn't have kitchens. Kitchens were not invented till the mid-1870s, as we know them. So I have a kitchen that is basically looks like a last quarter 19th century kitchen with a cast iron stove from the floor to the ceiling with bake ovens. They no longer cooked on the hearth before that. That's what they did. And then finally, the sunroom is what I think you're talking about. That's sort of like a fun room. And that would be something that I would expect somebody to have towards the turn of the 19th century into the early 1900s. And that gives me a little bit of, it allows me a little creativity, as opposed to the house being exactly what it was. It is exactly what it was in 1830, with interpretations as to what it would be like as we went on in the years. It's a living, in effect, structure. Now, by and large, it's 90% exactly what it was in 1830. Aside from the bathrooms and the kitchen that I mentioned and the sunroom, the house is completely intact. And I think I have one of the oldest barns in the state. I read that when I Googled it, and I was very surprised. So there's it was really a lot of fun for me.
Nice.
To participate.
Were the Maltbys ever philanthropic at all? Did they support?
Nothing that I've read.
Okay.
But at that time, the Farm River was a navigable stream going right across the street, and you know it was quite a different time. And you know, I'm just a custodian at this point. And I want to make sure that when it's time to hand it over to somebody, that I check with the Totucket Historical Society to see if there's anything I can do to enhance their collection.
That would be amazing. Thank you so much.
I just wanted to say one thing. You said you're honored to be here with me, but I am so honored to be here with you. I am starting something new, but you have something from the past, and that's something you can never really let go of, and I think it's important that you're still talking about it, and I just wanted to say.
Well, thank you for saying that, Ellexis.
You're welcome.
That was very nice. Thank you.
Yeah, very mature, I might add.
Thank you.
And so to close tonight, we had North Branford Connection Day early in September, and that's how I was able to meet Ellexis.
Oh,
and,
yes, yeah.
And we held that day at BH Care, which Ellexis mentioned. She's going to be putting their pamphlets in the care packages that they're giving out, which is a wonderful facility. But all of us that day when we were there, we enjoyed having everybody come and visit all of the organizations that North Branford has to offer, but it gave us all a chance to connect with each other and meet each other. And a lot of the organizations realized that they existed and they didn't know that they were existed. So we were able to connect and collaborate and make connections like this to help everybody out. So I hope that you enjoyed this episode of the show. I hope you learned something, and I hope you could reach out and help someone. Have a wonderful November, and we will see you at the end for our year anniversary.
Hi, my name is Megan, and I'm the owner of Get Organized with Megan Rose. I specialize in helping people create organized, stress-free homes through my services, which include decluttering and organizing, donation pickups, and daily chores such as laundry, dishes, and tidying up. I understand that inviting someone into your home can feel overwhelming, and many people feel hesitant or embarrassed. But I want you to know my services are 100% judgment-free. I'm here to help, not judge. In addition to my organizing work, I'm also the administrator for our town's free page, where I donate many of my clients' unwanted items to help others in the community. Giving back has been an important part of my business since the very beginning. I've lived in North Branford for 11 years with my boys, and I truly love being part of this community. Right now, I'm running a giveaway for 1 free hour of my decluttering service. Everyone who enters from town will receive $15 off their next session. Be sure to check out my Facebook page, Get Organized with Megan Rose, to learn more about my services. I hope to hear from you soon.